welcome back. If you're watching this, I have finished getting a snack and I have also getting started on the tutorial of how to draw DevilTechs. Yay! Right now, I am using a drawing that I was able to find on Pinterest to help me with this example, and I shall get away with the beginning. So first is obviously the head shape or the body. Depends on what you're drawing of your character's body. I'm going to use white to help with this, so I'm going to draw the neck first. I know DevilTechs usually don't have necks, but I don't go with the drawings with the neck so I can help with it. You know? So you want to be able to try to draw out with it, you know? Well, I feel like it's good to erase this part of it so it helps get out of the way. Sorry if you heard tapping in this video or the other video. I had just noticed how aggressively I tap on the screen, but it helps better. Something you want to try to do is avoid drawing like arms. You can draw similar to where they are, but it's good to not draw them at all because there's something you want to avoid. Then after you do that, you're going to want to draw the little hoop. As you can see, you can do that or not draw at all, depending on what your DevilTech's body is like, of course, you know? Because sometimes it could be cut in half and sometimes it couldn't. It's good to keep in mind what it looks and that you want to stay accurate to design. Now that we have the top part done, it's good to get on with the thing. I'm going to ignore that. It's good to follow where the waist is. It's also good that you need to copy where the body is. I usually just copy from the top and then lower it down a bit so I can know where to go specifically. And then you draw your waist, you know? Of course, don't draw all the way to their legs. That's unless the character actually has a leg like that. Then you draw the inner legs, which help a lot with this, you see? And then you draw the little hoops on the inside. It's good to extend a bit out from the drawing, like a little bit out the line, because if you don't, because then it could sometimes be a bit short. Like, okay, let me show you the exact. Like, let me try doing exact. Well, it's currently being annoying right now, don't mind it. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't do the line you want, so you gotta do it. But, like, I'll do it like this. I'll use this example. Like, look, I try to do it like that, and if I lower it, see, it's just a bit short. So something you do is like to be a few inches out, you know? Not that far, but similar. You see, now that you look at it, it's much more closer to the inside of how it should be. Now you take your bucket tool and you fill in the little gap. Now that we have that done, we should do the head as well. Fill in the gap so it doesn't leak out. And boom, you can have your body right now done. Now we go to do the head. Of course, all DevilTech heads are black. If there's one that isn't, please show me a picture. I will be amazed. And it's good to try to get similar to the head of the character right now, because it can help with the head of the body that you're going to use. You can make your characters naturally have a big or small head, but it's good to have a head that feels right for the drawing. Of course, you fill in the little gap. And boom, now you have a little head done for your character. And you can merge it with it so you can make it feel more clean. Now the rest of the body is up to you exactly of how you're going to design it. We're going to go with just a little free design. We're going to go with a little free design. Yes, I know I just said that. But mainly because I don't want to input more pictures. And I just want to follow with something real quickly. You know, try something new. So let's just pretend like, oh, there's like a DevilTech out there with this cool thing. That's where it has like, it can use its powers, like its core, to like mimic the same bodies of humans. You can trace the arms or other stuff if you'd like, you know? Or even make it a little bit more different, like have it be more clean, you know? For this, we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to have it have a sharp hand instead of a clear hand, you know? This may be a bit complicated to some others, but not to me. Now that we have that done, we can fill it in. Okay, I forgot that the orb was attached. Of course, you can use your arm to rotate it. And we're going to copy, paste, and then flip. Now something you might see, it looks a bit to the same side. You can use this to make it look a bit like it's more facing that way, as you can see. Like, let me use. It makes it look like they're facing more that way instead of front ways, which can help a lot with drawing, especially if you're drawing eyes. I know how eyes can become such a big hassle, and so I'm just using this basically to help with it. Now let's get this done. I know a lot of DevilTech bodies don't look like this. I'm most likely going to get burned by you watching, or not burned, but overall I'm just not wanting to do that. It is good to use your old DevilTech drawings to kind of trace out where the body is mainly at, so it can help you a lot in the long run, you know, so you don't forget certain design patterns or how it looks and not messing it up. It's also very good to copy the coloring of where it belongs, you know? So now we have that done. We have the legs filled in and everything. I think I'm gonna add a little something special. It's good to have the layer of the power underneath it, you know, so it doesn't accidentally collide. Now let me circle this. And let me fill it in so it doesn't leak any of the coloring, and fill that in. I'm going to put that there, and now we're going to copy again. Of course, usually DevilTechs take longer to draw depending on how much details yours has, but it's good to overall take your time. So now we got that done. I have to shrink it a bit so it can actually fit in the leg. And good enough. I'll try to get this one to fit more in. There we go. I'll shrink it down a little bit to help it. There you go, that looks similar. Now we're gonna merge it so it can fit in with it. And now that we're done with the main body, we can get rid of the drawing background that we use to help make the body. I'm gonna merge it with that and move it a bit this way. Now I don't exactly have a design pattern for it, so we're just gonna make something new. Make sure we are at the correct angle. You can make the eye size whatever you like or whatever direction. I think I messed that one up a little bit. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna keep it in the direction we want, you know? Let's make sure it looks nice. Try to make sure it keeps the lines clean. It's a good thing to try to do, keep your lines clean. Because if you have complicated lines, it's going to be hell trying to color in or figure out what's what. What should be deleted and what should be kept, you know? We're going to have them look like they're facing that way to match their body. Of course, the way they're facing doesn't need to match their body. As you can see, if we were to do it like this or like this, it's going to be too big. We're going to use the same tactic and turn it a bit like this, so it looks like they're more facing that way. See? There we go. Now we're going to add a few details like a hoodie, you know, or like a helmet. I think I'm going to preferably add a hoodie, since I usually draw hoodies onto the characters, you know? There we go. It's also good to make sure that it's underneath the eyes so you can know where your eyes are actually at, so it's easier to help you. I'm going to try to draw this. It's not gonna look like a good hoodie, kind of like how Nini's or like Zenith's look, but I'm just going to try. So we're going to add a little bump, you know, to make it look more like realistic to a hoodie. Okay, and then we're going to merge it with the body so it's easier to help fill in the gaps. There we go. Now we're going to help fix the little top of it just because it looks a little bit wrong. As we can see, it looks better now. We're going to make an underlayer, and I'm going to use this one right here. You see it right here. And I'm going to copy the color, and I'm going to lower it a little bit to make it look like it's shading on the inside. Another tactic you can use is using the opacity that you saw and using the color black or any other color for the shading. That can help a lot, especially if you don't know what specific color to use for shading. It helps create a whole new color and helps with so much issues. Now we're going to continue this. We're going to make the hoodie look more like round and clear, like it's actually on the side with it, you know? There we go. Now that we have that done, we can merge it with it. You don't have to merge it, of course, but I personally do to help with it. Now we're going to get the same color and finish with details, you know? Is that in the correct spot? No, it's not. Okay. There we go. Now that we have that done, we can use it to make something a bit more cooler. I know I'm going to probably hear this. Yes, this does look similar to Nini with the design, but it's because of the design that Nini I mainly draw, so I'm going to use that since it's a design I mainly draw. Since I haven't drawn any other DevilTechs yet, of course you can ask me to draw some and I will draw them because why not? It's good to get out of your comfort zone and draw more. So let me add that right there. And boom, you have your very own DevilTech. And you might be wondering, like, who the hell is this? But this looks cool to me personally. I might actually make some more for them. Something that you can do if you want to is add pupils or a mouth. I know DevilTechs usually don't have this, but I personally am going to add that. It's good to use a darker shade since it'll be easier to use. My hand was on the side of the tablet, so that's why I wasn't tracing. I'm going to use a little rectangle to help with it. That's if it decides to trace. You might have to make it a little bit wide in order for it to trace, because sometimes it's dumb. It's a little dum 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 la la la, you know, like that. Gotta fill it in. Why am I using this shape? Well, I screwed up. Okay, why am I using rectangles and like sharp shapes? Well, it kind of matches their arms and hands, you know, how I drew their arms and legs. Of course, you don't have to add pupils to all your drawings that you made of DevilTechs, but sometimes you can if you want to add more expression to that, you know? And plus, it makes them look like a little froggy too. Ribbon. It's good to use it in the direction. That's where it makes sure it lines up, so it doesn't look a bit derpy. It still looks a bit derpy. Of course, you're gonna have to get a bit close to the line, if that makes sense. Okay, now that it aligned, get it? Align. A little pun. You can now officially say that you have created a little DevilTech. Oh my god, it disappeared. Hold on. There you go. You have officially made your very own DevilTech. Of course, you can use more stuff to make it look more cool. Like, let me show an example. I have to, hold on. Let me just do something with the background so it allows it, so we can be able to do something a bit cooler. And then we add the layer. There we go. And now we're going to use the touch toggle to start blurring it. Do not mind if it's a bit slow. Internet is not here on my side today. Of course, you can mix and match in any other direction or form that you want. And if we look right now, it looks like toothpaste. Of course, we can lighten up a bit, and boom, we have a nice looking background for it. Now we can actually do what we were attempting to do. We can use the darker shade to add something cool like a cape, you know? Like, let me make it the cape. You can use a diamond, of course. I'm about to start World War if it doesn't explain to me what happened. Sometimes you need to fill in the inside, or you can just use a little bucket tool. That's where you can make it, that's where it doesn't have to fully go in, the tolerance range. It does leave a little disgusting residue. You know? You could, of course, color the whole thing in, or you can be smart and decide to use this. You see, you can put where you need it to be, and now you can see where the residue is, and now you can now cover in where the residue is. You can use colored outlines, non-colored outlines for your DevilTech, as long as you feel right. I always follow the color of the DevilTech that I'm looking at for Nini, like her outline is white. So I follow that. So that's why the blue clear background helps so much whenever I'm trying to do that, because the background naturally is white. And if I just try drawing white on white, I'm basically seeing nothing. It's like I'm trying to find a ghost that ain't even there. Or there is a ghost there, but I can't even see it because it blends in way too well. That's why you're able to use that. The little blue thing that I showed you, it helps a lot with it. Now that we are almost done filling out the coloring line, we can now officially say that we have drawn. I have been lied to. Do not mind me, I've been lied to by the incorrect system, or just my brain. Now that we have done, I am happily able to say that we have drawn a DevilTech. Now you're wondering, who is this DevilTech? Well, does it need a name specifically? I think I'm gonna work more on her later on, but right now, this is what she looks like. Behold the DevilTech. Now you know how to draw a DevilTech, specifically one with a similar design, but of course you can always add in like other stuff, like here. Like, let's create another layer as an example. Like right now, you can like use this like to draw hips. You can draw hips and a connection to it if you want to. It helps a lot, you know, because you can use the same tactic for a DevilTech and for a normal DevilTech, and you can just use this to color it in and have a connected stomach, just in case the DevilTech you use has a connected stomach. See? There you go. It looks like it's a connected body. But for the one we have, it's not connected body. I think I'm reconsidering the shape, but since the eyes are round at a part of it, I'm going to keep it round. But now you have a DevilTech that you've drawn. Congratulations, you have officially drawn a DevilTech. It's good to keep note of who it is that you are drawing, or just create something random, you know? It's good to create some random stuff sometimes, since you don't really need to draw an exact perfect one. If I was, we're gonna be here for a much longer time than I thought. But of course you can make your DevilTech like, hold on, is there screen unlocked? Okay. You can make your DevilTech much taller or much shorter. You can even make a tiny version, like if you want to do a little doodle like this tall. But I don't think you want to do that tall. If you want to draw a DevilTech to represent a character and also have an information side, I suggest that you use this side or this side for the drawing, and then use the other side for the information. Unless you want to go like this, or like this, or like this. Well, not like this, like this, kind of like how I did for Zenith, or just a small part, like a sliver, or like a small corner of it. You're able to do whatever you like. If you want to add a little information board, or a little spot for doodles, you're free to do whatever you like, because it's your drawing at the end of the day that you're making. But overall, that's how you draw DevilTech. Well, that's how I personally draw DevilTech. It's good to follow the colored outline, especially when it involves DevilTechs. But if you're struggling with colored outlines, it's good to go with a normal outline, especially if it helps you more.